and welcome. This is Ruth Hamilton and I'm back today with the Celebration Cake die set from TONIC Studios. And I don't know if you've actually seen the last one that I made, which was called A Piece of Cake, and it made cake, it also made cheese, and I enjoyed that so much that I couldn't wait to get back to creating this one once I packed everything up. I like to tidy up in between projects, and now I'm back with this one. So you can see here that it's circular in shape and can make a lovely little box to put goodies, sweeties, different sorts of things in. So if you haven't been here before, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Then you'll see all the videos as they come up if you're interested in that kind of thing. And leave me a little comment if you can at the end, because that always lets me know what kind of things you like and if you're actually enjoying the videos. So thank you very, very much for that. Now we'll have a little look here, but it says there are 19 dies in this set. So there are the dies. And we've got circle layering ones, and these would be absolutely beautiful on a card or even to use as a frame on a scrapbook page, or something like that with a photograph inside it. And then we've got these beautiful decorative panels that could be used for cards as well, or this one would be really, really lovely on a bookmark, I think, obviously without those tabs on the outside of it. So anyhow, I'm going to check out the card and the colours that I'm going to use for this, and I'll be right back in a moment. But just before I do that, I want to let you see that there are instructions here, and hopefully they're easy enough to follow, because I'm going to follow them now, and I'll be back in a moment or two, and you can follow along with me anyhow. I've got lots of bits and pieces all cut out now, so following along with the instructions, I have cut 2 of these panels. Here they are, and I've actually moulded them slightly just with my bone folder. So as I think I've showed you this before, it's just a matter of doing that and moulding those fibres slightly. You don't want them too curvy, but I've used 300 GSM card here, and I suppose you could probably use the 216 because you're probably adding a layer or two of patterned paper or other card or something onto the top of it, and that would strengthen it. It would also be a little bit easier to shape because this is quite stiff. Anyhow, I have 2 of those cut, and then it said to cut 4 of the inner large circles. So I have gone ahead and done that. And I'm just making sure that's the right ones, because I've cut larger ones as well. So if we have a look at the die set here, you'll see that there are circles here. So this is the large one, I take it as the outside one, and the inner large one would be this one. So it's the next one in. So I've taken that and I've cut that out 4 times, and then it tells you to cut out this circle in the centre of 2 of them. So that's my other 2, and I'll just explain briefly how we do that. So we've got this die that I've cut the circle out with. Move this over and we'll concentrate on this bit. So I've got that cut out, and then you'll just take this next layering die with the pattern on it and set it into your card. Now you're not going to tape that in and keep it there. You just want to centre it so you know exactly where it goes. Then take the next size down, like this. And what I usually do is put this on my cutting mat, and I'll put tape on the outside one to hold it to the mat, and tape on this one facing inwards, and then just take my pokey tool, and this will move now because I haven't got it taped down, but then I just remove that one, and because those already have been taped in place, I can get the proper place to put those in, and I'll tape them together across this way and pop them through my die cutting machine, and that then ends up with these 2 exactly the same. So that's how we do that. Now for these 2 I wanted to put the decorative panel on, so I've used both of these long dies together. So this is the outside edge here, the plain one, which would give you just a plain panel, and you could use that in nice patterned paper or anything at all actually, but I wanted to use the 2 together. So I have taped those both together, put them through my die cutting machine with, I think it's petal pink, yeah, beautiful card. You can see the beautiful shine off it there. And I'm going to glue this on here, and I've already done it on this one. So my little precision nozzle on my glue is absolutely fantastic for that, because it just gets into all those little areas, and you don't have glue coming out all over the place. So I'll glue this on. When I've done that, I'm going to glue the 2 tabs together and make one great big long strip. want to glue this onto this circle here. So I'm going to put, I've actually already got some glue on these tabs, and I'm going to put it on the rest of them all around just at the bottom of it, or one part of it anyhow. See, I haven't actually cleaned my mat there from colouring last night. I'll do that later. But there we are, we've got glue on all those tabs, and then you'll want to start and attach these on here. So just lay that down, and you'll need to hold it just for a little minute or two. Hopefully you can see that. And as that grabs, then you can pop some more in and hold that. And just work your way around like that until you have the whole thing done. So those little tabs are actually going in below. I've set this down on top of it. Then when you come to the end, you can put glue on this tab and join it all up. When you've got all that one in place, then you can turn it over and cover up these glue tabs then with your second ring, so the glue tabs will be sandwiched in between the two rings. So that's the top, and the little glue tabs are all nicely covered up inside there. So for the base, if you don't want to see the glue tabs on the inside, you'll use the other two circles that you've cut with the same size of die. So that's the inner large circle. And well, how I do this is right side facing up, pop that one inside. So I've popped that down inside there, and then I'm going to add glue just around, I'll point it out here actually, just around that edge on the actual circle itself, and then turn this over and pop it down and hold it, and then all those glue tabs will be on the inside. Just make sure you have them all folded in properly first. And then you'll just do exactly the same thing with this as you've done with the other one. Once that one's in place, you can hold it down and then sandwich the glue tabs in between the two of them. I've prepared some of the pieces for the top part of this little box, so it's the decorative part of the lid, and I've taken this beautiful little die cut here, and there's two of them that I've taped together in the same way as I did for this, and I've glued them on to the two little short panels, which are the pieces to go around the side of this. So you'll find the long one for the big one, and then the shorter one is for this little top part. And I've glued those together and moulded them with my bone folder. And now you could actually go ahead and glue this onto the top and the bottom the way we did before, but I'm going to do it slightly differently this time. So you're told to take the two smaller circle dies, so that's this one that's in the centre, and cut that out twice. So I didn't know where I put that one, but there it is. So I've got this one, and then it said to cut out a circle in the centre of that one with this small circle die here. So I've done that. There's no guide this time for doing that. You can just eyeball it because it's a small circle. Anyhow, you could do it exactly the same way as I've done for the bigger one, but this time I'm going to glue these together and then put glue on the tabs. Actually, it might be easier to do that. We're doing the top one first. So it might be easier just to put glue on the tabs now, and while I can get at them, and then glue this on top in the same way. So glue, I'll use this one this time, glue in here. I went ahead then and put the bottom of that in just the same way as I did with this one. You don't actually need another circle to cover those glue tabs because it's going to get glued onto another piece in a moment or two, but it really helps to keep that circle in shape rather than trying to set it on top and hold everything in. If you just put glue on the tabs and push the piece down inside, or push it through there and then press it down from the inside. Now, I didn't actually see any purpose on the instruction sheet there for this hole in the centre, because there didn't seem to be any top lid for it or anything like that, but I wanted to make one, so I've gone ahead and done that. So you can see there then that I cut a second one of these larger, sort of this size of a circle, and cut that little circle aperture out of the centre again, and that then covered up the glue tabs. I think actually what I was going to do was just put a lid on top of it and glue it down, but then I decided no, I'm actually going to make something that makes this as purposeful as the aperture in this one as well. So I'm going back to the lid for this one first of all, and I've cut two of the large circles, as you can see. Now that's the really big circle die. It's the largest one in the set. Then I have taken it and this decorative detail die, and then the next smaller circle, which is this one, and I've taped the three of those together and used them on my petal pink card and glued that on top there. And that's gorgeous, isn't it? Can you just see the shine off that? So that then is the piece that this is going to get glued onto, and I didn't actually want to waste my card, so I've cut that circle out of that. It was going to get covered anyway, and then that means I can use that for something else. You can actually use it for the top. So anyhow, I didn't realise that at the time, so I've already gone and die cut the top. Now, you've a long piece of die like this, and I've cut that out twice, and that is going to get glued on by these glue tabs. So this might be a little difficult again to just get the glue to stick on the mirror card. It's not difficult, it actually just takes a moment or two, but it doesn't hold just as quickly as the ordinary card to card. So anyhow, here we go. I'm going to join these two together and then glue those tabs all along in there and cover the tabs at the end with this one. Now I've got right side up of my little circle. That's for the larger lid, and then I'm just going to put some glue around here and add this on in the same way as I did for the others. So as I get to a few of them glued in and you press that down, then you can add some glue onto the rest and just move around. Then when I get to the end of that, I'm going to glue this piece on the other side, and that will cover all those glue tabs. Now, for the next little part, this piece here gets glued directly on top of that. So it would probably be best just to line those joins there with the joins in the, well, what I would call the icing around the outside of that. And then you'll know that you've got a nice front and a back on it. But for the lid then, I've taken this die and this one together, and I've cut this beautiful shape out here. And then I've cut the candles out twice in ivory card, and I've glued them both together. I actually cut off the bottom part of one of them, so there's only one flap heading backwards there. You could actually fold one the other way, but what I'm doing is just going to put that in through the slit that's in that die cut there, and I felt it looked better when it sat up with there was only one tab going the other way, because it wasn't just as thick underneath there. So I'm going to glue that just on there, just a tiny bit of glue in there, and pop that over, and that means those little candles will stand up on the top of that. So now I'm going to go ahead and glue this piece onto the ivory lid, and then I'll show you what I've done to sort of make that into a little working compartment as well. And and that goes directly on there. Now, I mentioned earlier that I felt that this little compartment here, actually I should just glue that on while I'm working at it. I felt that that had no purpose. It doesn't say anything on the instructions for it, but I reckon there's something should be done with it. So what I've done then is I've used this little circle die. There it is. So this little one that I've cut the aperture into that with, and I've cut 6 of these out and just glued them directly together. And then I have glued the 6 of them together. Can you just see? I put it there where you could maybe see the thickness of it. So there's 6 of them glued together and glued into the centre there. So that gives a sort of a piece that will fit down inside here. And that means that you can use that as another little lid and another little compartment, because that fits on there, and that lid then can come off. Now obviously it doesn't have the icing or whatever that you would need to come down over the sides, but I think it still looks really well, and you can lift it off by those little candles. You can pop something in there, and then you can lift your bottom layer off as well, and we've got 2 for the price of 1. It actually really looks lovely. That's it all finished, and I should point out, actually, just remember, you'll probably know this without me telling you, but just remember to line this edge up with this, you know, the join here, with this one, and then with the way the candles are going. And that's it, and it looks so pretty. And now we've got a little functioning box that the lids come off, the 2 of them, and you can put a lovely little gift in there. Now those dies could actually be used, the beautiful one that I used for around here, and even these panel dies, could be used on a beautiful card to go along with that as well. So if you had a gift and a card that you had wanted to match, that would just be beautiful. As soon as I heard myself say that you could make a card with that, I thought, well, I better go ahead. Now, silly me, I've done it in white, and my little cake is in ivory, but it was just to show you that you could make a really simple card that would just match along with the gift that you've got there. So I have put the circle piece that I used on here just onto the card, and it's an A2 card, and I just cut it down. It'll still fit in the same envelope, but I cut a little piece off it just so that it would be just square and around that little circle. You could use an ivory one, and Tonic do ivory Craft Perfect cards in the same size, so there's no problem there. Then I took these 2 little dies and taped them onto my petal card again, and this tiny one here just gets folded over, and you can glue those center tabs in like so. So that starts off, sorry I should have showed you that, it starts off like this. Then you will fold those tabs in, and that one over. Now we need to put a little bit of glue on there as well. And then I've got this other little bow here, and I'm going to glue that on top. Now it's the mirror card gluing to each other that's the problem here, but there's not 2 ticks and I'll hold it together. Now I want to put that over the top of that, not necessarily the way it's supposed to be, I suppose, but I just kind of liked it. So that's me finished. I ended up cutting the little tails off and just gluing that bow directly to the card, but I think it turned out really nice. And as I say, the ivory, and you know, you would probably make that in ivory, in fact you would, to match this little cake. But that's what I've done. So I really hope you've enjoyed that, and I know some of you have been asking me for the video for the little cake, and I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you find it easy to follow along with. If you have any questions, just leave a little comment down below and let me know, and I'll do my best to help you as I usually do. So if you haven't already subscribed, don't forget to do that and hit the notification bell. Give it a big thumbs up if you've enjoyed it, and don't forget to leave me a little comment. I'll have my affiliate links down below to all the products that I've used in this, so I'll get a little commission from every sale using those links, and I really appreciate that, so thank you very much for that. Now I've got lots and lots of stuff on my desk, so it'll not be too long before I'm back with another video, so thank you so much in the meantime. Happy crafting. Bye bye.